Prepared to Teach is excited about the teacher residency efforts in South Carolina, and the NetServe program at Winthrop is a great example of how these pathways into teaching can transform education. As a national group that works on building sustainable teacher residencies, we've seen the power of residencies that value equity, quality, and partnership. Such residencies graduate strong teachers who provide instructional support for students, stay in the classroom, and give back to the community. The state is poised to grow the kind of partnerships that the NetServe vision has made a reality for South Carolina's rural districts.
In 2008, Winthrop University began to re-envision what it meant to partner with school districts as well as individual schools. And we began to think about what might we be able to do for the school, the district, and the community, but also how could we learn from what's going on in our schools and our districts.
As I was going through my program, I noticed that I had a lot of classes and training and coursework that I didn't notice people that had gone to other schools had taken. And it was all focused on the direct needs of the communities that we were meant to serve. And Winthrop responded by making sure that their teachers had that training so that they could best serve those students. So not only did I get great training in my content area, I was able to get training that would help me to better support my students in their daily lives.
Becoming a teacher is not a cost-neutral experience, so it is extremely important that we find ways to support students while they're working to become a teacher. So the NetServe program offers students a living stipend, and they can use that to supplement where they've likely left a job and are going to school full-time.
Being through a grad program, going ahead and getting that master's to come back to the community teach. They're helping you with your residency along the way with the stipend that they give you so that you can go back to the area so that you can have money for your living expenses while you do your master's program was a plus. But I really feel as though going back to the high need area overall is what really highlighted the program for me, just because I wanted to come back to Chester and give back what was given to me.
In one of our partnership districts, they're actually building a teacher community. That community has provided land, tax incentives. All of that together allows the rent in that community to be very low. We have other areas in the state that offer special loans and actually own a home in that community and get even further embedded in those communities.
I had several friends who were going through the education department program at the same time as I was, but many of them took a more traditional route and had a much different first-year experience than I had. They struggled to fit in at their new school. They struggled to kind of get to know the culture and the community that their students were in. Meanwhile, I had spent an entire year getting to build relationships with my administrators, with the other teachers who taught on my team, and I got to know my students really well. So when I stepped in the door the first day of my first year, I already felt like I was part of the community.
The teachers have developed some amazing relationships with the students. That has transferred into building relationships with the parents, but also with the other teachers within the team. So the consistency and the collaboration is one of the most beneficial things that goes on with this NetServe program, and they're visible and they're present within the school.
Being at the school all year, I think, is extremely important. I know that some programs are only 3 months long, some are only 15 hours, and some switch in the middle of a year to a different school. I think that it's going to take away how much you know your kids, how much you see your kids' growth, because teaching is a year-long job, and the product is how much the kid grew at the end of the year. And if you're not there for the whole year, you miss out on that.
I already knew the students. I knew them already, I recognized them. They knew me in the hallways. They said, hey, you were here last year, you're an actual teacher this year, which was kind of fun. And so already having those relationships built as an intern, coming in and a resident, coming in as a full-time teacher, those relationships were already starting to be built, and the students saw me return, which was a big deal.
That NetServe teacher is gonna stay committed. They are gonna be willing to, drive out all of the negativity that comes along working in an at-risk school, because they're gonna see the child for who they are and what they can become. And they're gonna establish, their skills in terms of planning and the assessment building and building a relationship with other teachers to have a community effort. They say it takes a village to raise a kid. NetServe is like a village. They oversee the interns, and that intern, that full-time teacher, is gonna oversee the students that they serve and make everybody better.
It was
tailored for our school, and we had a say-so. And that's the unique thing about programs that work. You can throw a lot of programs, you can throw a lot of money, but if you don't talk to the schools and find out what they need and make them a part of the process of the change, change will never occur.
With the teacher shortage that we are facing here in South Carolina, we are constantly looking for quality, individuals to come in and educate our children. And with this residency program, again, they come in for the year. We're able to work with them. We're able to help them grow professionally so they will be ready to educate our children when they come on full time.